Hello and welcome to another vid where I will be showing off and talking about the backstory of the big time Spider-Man suit. And of course, Spider-Man PS4. So before I start, I want to say this is completely unresearched and unscripted, so everything I say about the suit and the story is just going completely off of memory. So if I get something wrong, I apologize and actually encourage you all to let me know what I got wrong. So okay, let's start. The Big Time suit was introduced in a story called Big Time Spider-Man, written by Dan Slott, I believe. Yeah, it was definitely Dan Slott. It was during his long run, because he's been on Spider-Man forever, and he only recently left the series. Anyway, it was a Dan Slott written Spider-Man story in the pages of The Amazing Spider-Man. Basically, in the story, Peter Parker gets this new job at this science, research team or center, what is it? Think tank. I think that's what it's called, a think tank at this place called Horizon Labs, ran by this guy named Max Modell. If those names sound, familiar, it's probably because in the Marvel Spider-Man animated show going on currently, Peter attends Horizon High, which is, a high school version, which is also still ran by Max Modell. Anyway, in this story, after getting a job at Horizon Labs, the lab is quickly, brought into his, Spider-Man life. Which also, yeah, I'm stuttering, said this is just completely off the top of my head as I talk about it. Anyway, the Hobgoblin, specifically the Phil Urich version of Hobgoblin, attacks the lab and steals something. Said it's completely off memory. I think he stole some. I don't know. I think he stole something. I don't even know on that. But basically, what happens is the Hobgoblin steals something, and Peter decides he needs to get it back. And he ends up going after him, and he designs this cool new suit to help with that. It has 3 different modes. The green version, which is the most common version, is the stealth mode. So while wearing this, it basically turns him completely invisible, which, you don't do in any games then, because, I get why. That'd be... it'd make it too OP if you could just be completely invisible. But anyway... I keep saying anyway. And basically. So this is just my natural speech. It's me just trying to think as I go along. I've also said that a billion times. Anyway. There it is again. Proving my point. But after, he makes this, he goes to steal whatever it is back and kind of confront the Hobgoblin and finds out that the Hobgoblin is actually working for Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. He uses the stealth suit to break into Kingpin's building, Fisk Tower, and he teams up with Black Cat while he's doing it. She was currently kind of going through a hero thing at the time, and he gives her special goggles that allows her to see him. Because I think it's like light bending technology in the suit. That's why he's invisible, that it just bends light around people's eyes. Because, how people see is, through light. So, if there was no light, that's why can't see in the dark. And I don't know why I'm explaining science right now. I'm sure, I'm not all that smart. I'm sure you guys know any basic science I do, honestly. So, yeah. But he and Black Cat break into Kingpin's tower and try to confront him. Black Cat gets kidnapped, and, Peter has to confront the Kingpin. They fight, and Peter, of course, wins, because, the hero always wins. What do you expect? I'm trying to think, sorry. But the Big Time the story was really the only place this was seen. He pretty much used it once. Or at least Peter only used it once. After the Big Time story arc, it actually was seen twice more. Anyway, as I was saying earlier, it does have 3 modes, and that's important to who uses it next. The regular, or green colored mode, I guess, which is the one you see most often, as I said, is the stealth suit, which makes them completely invisible. There's a blue mode, which I have no idea what that does, if it does anything. Then there's a red mode, which I'm not sure on that one either, but I think that's kind of like a default, so, he's not invisible, the stealth tech isn't working, nothing's working on it. It's just, typical Spider-Man costume. So, and which the red, that's why it's in its point, because like in its next appearances, it only uses red, which makes it interesting that in all video games it's been in, the Big Time suit is green, because for most comic appearances it's been red. That's saying the next person to use it actually stole it from Peter during a storyline called Spider Island, where everyone in New York gets spider powers because of the Jackal and the Insect Queen, I think her name is. But she gives Peter organic webbing at one point. It's confusing. I don't want to get into it. The organic webbing thing is super weird. But they basically give everyone in New York spider powers, and then everyone kind of mutates into giant spiders because of it. And during this, Peter Parker teams up with the spider-powered Mary Jane, who got her powers late and isn't turning into a spider monster. Like, she was literally the last person in New York to get spider powers. Anyway, so Peter, a spider-powered MJ, and Peter's clone, Kane, who is the second Scarlet Spider, all team up to take down the Spider Island monster spider things. Which, once again, I think that was adapted for that new Spider-Man show. I think I saw the first episode of it. I'm not interested, and they did not do the Spider Island story right, but that's a side tangent. I could just feel, okay. Anyway, during Spider Island, Kane stole it to use, because he needed a costume, of course. I mean, he looks just like Peter. If he didn't put on a costume, everyone would be like, oh, hey, that's Peter Parker. So, you know, then Peter's secret identity would be gone, and that would kind of suck for him. So he steals the suit, and it goes into red mode, and it gets locked in red mode. After Spider Island, after they defeat the Jackal and everyone, Kane basically gets on out of there as fast as he can before he has to talk to Peter, because they used to be enemies. Kane started out as a bad guy who tried to kill Peter, and at least I think he killed Peter. Maybe he tried killing Ben Reilly, but I'm pretty sure it's Peter he hated most. Said I could be wrong. Could be Ben Reilly. It was one of them, because one of them was the clone. They didn't know it was Ben Reilly at the time. For all they knew, it was Peter. So he was trying to kill the one who he thought was the clone, which I think he thought Peter was the clone. And that's why he was trying to kill, you know, Peter, because he was like, oh, the clones need to die. They're ruining Peter's life. So anyway, Kane steals it. He becomes the Scarlet Spider. Let's see what else. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to pick. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Okay, I need regular webbing for this. Okay, don't. Anyway, as I was saying, so Kane steals it. It's locked in red mode, and he runs off to Houston with another spider suit he stole, and that's the Scarlet Spider Kane suit you're all probably familiar with. And he mostly uses, you know, the Scarlet Spider suit, the cool black and red one. But during a team up with Wolverine, he wore the red stealth suit. Like, I think it was able to still use stealth somehow. Even though it was locked in red mode, it's confusing. Maybe the colors don't mean anything, honestly. Like, I don't know. All I know is that green meant stealth, but maybe they all mean stealth at this point. Yeah, so it said it was red, but he still used stealth, and he was trying to assassinate Wolverine because villain was like forcing him to. But I think if I remember the way things went, he faked Wolverine's death. Then Wolverine helped him, and you know they teamed up and took down whoever was responsible. You know, classic hero team up stuff, and I believe that's the last appearance of the Big Time suit. So yeah, it was only in like 3 different comics. It was in, you know, The Amazing Spider-Man Big Time, it was in The Amazing Spider-Man Spider Island, and it was in Scarlet Spider, Volume 2 probably? I'm not fact-checking this. I don't know which issues or which runs of the series is that they appeared. So like, Amazing Spider-Man, that one was probably at like volume like 3 when it appeared. There's always been an Amazing Spider-Man book since like the 60s. So, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Said it only appeared in those 3 different stories. but it's kind of, I guess, made a good legacy for itself considering how many games it's been in. It's kind of become an iconic Spider-Man suit. You know, it's one of those suits that people think of a lot when they think Spider-Man, just because of how many games it's been in. Like, what, at least 3 now? Is this the 3rd it's been in? 'Cause I think it was in both of those Amazing Spider-Man games. I think that's where it got popularized. You know, that's where everyone saw it. And then it was also in that one, you know, Spider-Man show. I said, I'm not into that show, but I believe Peter made it, and it worked for a little bit. I think a robot tried to kill him. Said I did not. Like I might have seen the episode. I just don't care for the show, so I guess I just blocked all the memory of the episode out of my mind. Yeah, it was in an episode. Peter made it, but it kind of malfunctioned. And he ended up throwing it in the trash, being all like, stealth suit no more, and walked away and to like recreate that iconic cover of, you know, Peter throwing his classic red and blue suit in the trash and walking away with the whole Spider-Man no more thing. But before he leaves it, he realizes, wait a minute, that's precious technology. I can't just throw it in the trash. So, you know, he brings it back to Horizon High, which of course is where he made it. So both versions, it was at a Horizon place, you know. In the comics, it was Horizon Labs, you know, because that was where he worked. He was an adult at the time of this, probably like 20. Who knows ages in comics? They're always changing, because I think recently in a Spider-Man Silk team-up comic, they said he got bit by the spider 10 years ago, and he was 15 when he got bit. So that would make him 25 now, and I'd assume Big Time only took place maybe like a year or two before like that story, so, you know, he was definitely in his early 20s. But in the show, he's like a teenager, probably 15. So, and so that's why he's, you know, in high school, of course. Why he made it there. That's all the appearances, especially notable ones, I can think of. So, guess that means I should wrap this video up. I might take these guys down real fast, though, which I also hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, you know, showing it off. Maybe you're, you know, maybe you just want to see what it looks like. You don't have the game yet, or maybe you're just considering if you should get it or not. And you're just looking at vids, or maybe you already have it, and you know the video itself isn't what you're here for, but you know, just the lore that you just want to kind of know about the suit you're playing as. Either way, I hope this episode informed you a little bit. And you know what, maybe even gave you some reading material. They said, I don't know the exacts, but it said, just look up in the suit and you can find this. It was an Amazing Spider-Man series and a Scarlet Spider series. Not here when the cops arrive. And I believe that's the only places. If there are more, like, that's interesting, and I should totally read those, because the suit is cool. But yeah, it said it appeared in those 2 games and that one Spider-Man cartoon. So if you want to check it out outside of the comics, you know, there are some places. Okay, now that those guys are down, I'll wrap this video up. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you want, let me know in the comments if you think I should do like an actual scripted researched version of this video, you know, actually, you know, not be rambling and all over the place, you know, actually make sure everything is correct. So like, some of this could be wrong. Like, I don't know, it could have, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I could have got wrong. I'm like, no, I definitely know it was an Amazing Spider-Man Scarlet Spider, so I'm not wrong in its appearances. The colors, I'm pretty sure I'm probably wrong. So, like, but you know, if I am, just let me know. I would be glad to learn what the colors mean. So, like, there's green, there's red, and there's like a light blue. And all I know is that he was invisible while he was using green. So I thought that one meant stealth, and the others meant something else. So, anyway, I'll end the video here. I'll probably do another one of these soon. Let me know which suits I should do, you know, backstory videos on. And I'll see you in the next one. Das Vidania.